Hey there, all you cool, epic, and awesome fans, followers, and listeners. Welcome. You're now listening to episode 35 of the Cool, Epic, Awesome podcast. I'm Matt, your co-host,
And I'm the other co-host, Joe.
and we have one of our most anticipated
Yeah, I was
episodes.
gonna say this is probably
Probably what now? It cut out.
I said probably our biggest episode, like that we've been talking about since we started this podcast. Like,
Yeah,
don't we have a FNAF animatronic in our logo?
yeah, we do. We do.
Yeah.
So
So I
yeah,
think
for those of you
isn't
who
it?
are unaware, this is the episode where we talk about not only Scorsese's 3.5 hour epic Killers of the Flower Moon,
Mm,
but also a more coveted and respected film, Five Nights at Freddy's, which we've been waiting for since the inception of this
yeah.
of this podcast. Um, it is crazy though that we're finally getting to it because
This point, yeah.
it's a movie
And John,
that's was announced 8 years ago and has been through so many director changes and
yeah.
went through from studio to
Studios,
studios.
yeah.
So I remember just like walking into the theater being like, damn, I'm really about to watch FNAF right now. It was kind of a surreal experience.
Was there a lot of people at your theater when you went?
Yeah, it was basically packed.
Yeah, also.
But yeah, I do actually want to talk about Killers of the Flower Moon
Yeah, no,
first, and
yeah.
then we'll get to FNAF. So yeah, like I mentioned before, Killers of the Flower Moon came out the week before FNAF. So we went to go see that separately. But the movie is 3.5 hours long. So with the 20 minutes of credits, of trailers, I mean, before the movie,
No,
you're sitting in the theater for 4 hours.
yeah.
So that was I think that is the longest movie I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, by far for me too. Actually, no. Wasn't Zack Snyder's Justice League like 4 hours?
Maybe. I feel like they're around the same, probably.
Yeah.
But watching that in a theater was kind of
Oh yeah, that was the longest movie I've seen in the theater ever.
definitely. My theater had I was surprised. I walked in, it was all like old ladies, like
Really?
grandmas in my theater.
I mean, they just thought Josh Hutcherson was hot.
No, bro, I'm talking about Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, but
Yeah,
for me,
not
yeah, same thing. Actually, now you say.
yeah, it was all old ladies. And a
Yeah.
lot of they kept like making comments. One of the ladies to the left of me, she like kept asking the other old lady that she was with why people were doing certain things and like what was going on. And she was basically explaining very
The entire
loudly.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah, which was frustrating, but what can
I
you
could
do?
imagine. Yeah.
And then to the right of me, the old lady was like, "What is this movie? 9 hours long?" I guess they like didn't know the
Yeah.
runtime, so it was an interesting theater experience.
Yeah.
But I will
Did
say
you have
though,
to?
the one thing that didn't bug me was the runtime. Surprisingly,
Yeah.
I was never bored throughout the whole thing. I mean, it kind of not that it dragged, but you know, you're 2.5 hours in, and you're like, "Damn, I still got an hour left." At
Yeah.
that point, it kind of was, you know,
Starting to
a
get a
lot.
little heavy. Yeah. But for the most, I'd say like from more than 2/3 of the movie, I would. There's no complaints about the runtime. Like, didn't feel like it was dragging or anything like that. The
Yeah,
story moves along pretty well.
yeah. And for those of you that don't know, the story basically follows this Native American group that you know, if you think about like big Native American groups, you think of, you know, the Cherokee, um, there's a couple others.
Yeah.
Do you know one? What can you give me another one or no?
Nah, I'm not gonna lie.
But anyways, there's a couple famous ones. The Cherokee's the only one I could
Turkey's
think
like the
of.
only one I know. Yeah. I could look it up. Hold on. I think there's 6.
Yeah, the other ones like as soon as I know them, I'll recognize it, but I'm forgetting.
Let me see.
But there was this one group called the Osage, and they were basically like the shitty Native
They were
American
like
group.
poor. Yeah, they weren't they like not considered. They weren't considered part of like the core groups.
Yeah,
Like
they were a very lower class
yeah,
version of Native American culture or whatever. But so basically what happens is this tribe that's, or I don't know if tribe is the right word, but this group that was poor and basically just this shitty group happens
Yeah,
to their land, which was non-fertile and just like a terrible land to have, happened to be on top of insane oil reservations. So they ended up harvesting the oil and becoming like the richest people in all of the United States per capita or something. So it was just
yeah.
crazy luck. They became insanely wealthy and successful. So the movie
It's the
basically
overnight.
follows a a, a group of white people. I don't know if they're Europeans or I don't
I'm
know. They don't.
assuming they've immigrated here, but I don't think uh like they're probably it's in the when does it take place? What, like the 40s, 50s movie?
Yeah, I think so.
So they probably like I'm assuming it had to be people from came in the 20s, probably like second generation. Like Leo's character is probably like a second generation immigrant.
Yeah. So it's basically about how these white folk come in and start marrying into the bloodline
Yeah,
and basically getting their hands on this oil money. And it's this one guy's plan to basically marry in and then kill off all the people that would have gotten the wealth that his wife has until he's the only one left. So all the wealth comes to him. And that dude
yeah,
is Leo or Leonardo DiCaprio.
yeah.
And
What's his
his
character's
uncle,
name?
it's like a typical white person
Yeah, I
name.
know.
I forgot. I'm gonna look it up really quick. And then his uncle is played by Robert De Niro. He's kind of like the mastermind behind the whole thing.
Yeah, and he's like very close to the Native American. Like they see him as like an ally.
Yeah,
Kind of, yeah. Like he speaks like their language and stuff.
yeah, yeah. Leo plays Ernest.
Ernest, that was it.
Yeah, that is like such a typical white person name. But anyway, so yeah, Ernest basically finds this one Osage woman who is her mother's basically on her deathbed, and she's gonna come into this huge wealth. So De Niro's character basically tells Ernest, marry her, and then I'm gonna start getting her family members killed off one by one until
Yeah,
eventually it's just her left, and then we're gonna take care of her, and then all the wealth will go to you. So that was one complaint I had is that it's kind of like it's not set in stone whether or not Leo is the antagonist. I feel
yeah. I mean, I
like
don't know.
obviously
It
what
kind of
he's doing
like
is insanely
wrong.
shitty.
Yeah,
But there's just weird implications throughout the movie where it's like it kind of implies that he's being taken advantage of by his uncle and he actually does love his wife so much.
yeah,
But he still is, going through with killing the rest of her family members and,
yeah.
killing her by
He killed the detective.
putting the poison in her what's it called? What is the stuff they
Or
use
insulin.
the insulin, yeah. So I feel like they should have made it more like, yes, he's definitely the bad guy because he is the bad guy. I didn't like how they kind of
Yeah,
made him sympathetic a little bit. I
yeah.
feel
No,
like I don't know why they
they
did
kind.
it,
I feel like
but
yeah, they sympathize with. It should have been from his wife's point of view. I feel like.
yeah. And that was another complaint that people in the Osage community had was you have this big film that's basically telling the story of how the Osage were taken advantage of, but you tell it from the perspective of the white people. So it's
Yeah,
kind of like, you know, um,
he sympathizes with them.
yeah. I actually found the story in general very interesting.
Yeah, it was extremely interesting.
It was really cool to follow and just see how, you know, De Niro's this well-respected guy and he basically is like a mastermind slowly, burrowing his way into this Osage
Community.
wealth.
Yeah.
It was very cool. Um, Leo, I think, did really well. The woman who plays Leo's wife, Lily Gladstone, people were saying like, oh, she's gonna win an Oscar and all this shit. I
I
think
thought
that
she was good.
I thought she was very good, but
Yeah.
I kind of was disappointed. Not that like her performance was bad or anything, but
Yeah, but
I don't
honestly, if
think
you
it's
think about
Oscar
it,
worthy.
for female, what would it be? Female Cole?
Uh, supporting female, I guess, because she's not
She's not
like a
the main. Yeah, the
she's not the lead.
who else would really be in contention this year?
My choice is Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer, but you're right. It is not
It's
like a
like,
huge.
yeah, the gap isn't that far on it. Like if you think about it, like she
Yeah,
was great in Emily Blunt and Oppenheimer.
I think Lily Gladstone will be nominated, and she might win. But
Yes, yeah,
I
I
just
agree.
I just don't think like I just kept hearing all this. This is such an amazing performance that she gave. I thought De Niro gave the best performance in the movie. I loved his
Yeah, I
character,
agree.
and honestly, yeah, I'll just say he was my favorite character. I just
Yeah,
his
me too.
he was such an intriguing character.
Yeah,
Just I don't
because
know. I
he's
just
just
everything.
like it's because like he's fucking over this community so much, and like he's just in like basically right in front of them, like he's close to them and stuff. So it's just
Yeah,
like,
none of them even realize. The only
yeah,
people that are sus are Jesse Plemons' character when he comes in. He's the
yeah.
sheriff, not the
The
sheriff, the
sheriff, yeah. The
detective.
like the where is he from? The
He's
Federal
from
Bureau.
yeah, he's from like Washington D.C.
So
or
we didn't
something.
so we didn't establish also. So at one so as his wife notices that like her family members keep starting to die and like the police aren't doing anything, she hires like a private detective to go and like try and find out what's going on. And then Ernest kills him. And then she goes to the White House and asks the president to send like somebody to search, and then the federal like bureau comes and then they start like investigating.
Yeah, and it's basically because of her that this whole thing gets
Yeah.
resolved.
Yeah.
Because when she does make that trip to D.C., she's completely fucked.
Yeah.
She's bedridden. She could barely walk because diabetes was apparently like a huge thing that the Osage people died of a lot back then, and it was before they had like a treatment for it. So in the movie, um, it's actually funny because they come to Lily Gladstone's character and they're like, "Oh, we have this new drug that we're testing out. It's called insulin." And obviously, nowadays that's just normal for
Yeah.
anyone that has diabetes. You could just live with it. But she doesn't get healed right away because Leo is secretly putting like poison in her insulin that he's shooting at her. So she still gets very sick.
Yeah. She almost dies essentially.
Yeah. So I forget how does she end up getting better? Why does he stop? Does he stop putting the poison in, or
No, they go to like
she goes to a hospital or something, right?
they go to the house for some reason and they see her and they send her to a hospital.
And then she recovers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like the scene at the end, where she kind of confronts him
Yeah.
about everything.
Yeah, what was your favorite scene actually? I was gonna say.
There's a lot. I mean, it's hard to really pick one. I really like the
Yeah.
scene. Just to name a couple, I like the scene where um, the house blows up.
Yeah, that's my favorite scene. Like that
I
that was
really,
all it looked like it was like one continuous take, it looked like.
yeah, I really like the ending scene though, where it's Ernest and is her name Molly? Let me see.
Oh,
Lily Gladstone's character. Yeah, Ernest and Molly in that room. I forget what she asks him. She's like, "Did you put some shit into the
he's like,
insulin?"
yeah, what did you put in the insulin?
Yeah. And then like he basically admits to her that, he was killing her and she just walks out.
Yeah. No, I thought he said no.
I thought he says yes
No, I thought he said no.
or whatever. Even if he said no,
But she no, yeah,
she
like you
knows
can
that
tell
he's
from the scene that she knew already. She
yeah.
was just seeing if he was gonna tell the truth.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think you're right. I'm pretty sure I messed that part up. Um but yeah, anyways, I really like that scene because it's just very great acting by both of them that they're so immersed in their characters that it just feels like a genuine conversation and the way that they act it, they don't have to even speak. Like just by Lily Gladstone's like facial expressions and what her character
Yeah.
does, you could, it's a very powerful moment in the movie. This is like kind of random, but I liked a lot of like how graphic some of the scenes were, and it didn't hold back at all. Like when the house explodes and they lift Molly's sister
Yeah.
up, and the back of her head is like completely blown off.
Yeah. I like when it feels real because honestly, in like real life stuff, in regular movies and like action movies and stuff, when explosions happen, like you don't see like stuff like that.
Yeah,
But like in this, like this is what happens in real life. Like, working in an emergency room, you see stuff like that, like, in there's car accidents. And so I like
Yeah,
when it's like real.
and I like, even if it doesn't maybe add much or it doesn't matter, I like seeing like the wreckage and what actually happens when someone gets killed, not it being implied. Like if someone's, let's say another movie maybe would have shown the dead body and like cut away before anything gruesome was shown.
Yeah.
But I like
Yeah.
how this actually showed it. Not that I mean, it doesn't change anything, but
It's
it
not like
just
a
feels.
focal point of the movie. It's just like you notice it. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like it's the gore definitely stands out when it's there.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because what's it called? Martin Scorsese's 80, and he's still putting out these insane movies
Yeah.
like this.
Doesn't he have like a
Um,
mad young daughter?
yeah, he does. Not mad young, but she's probably younger than us.
She's like 17 or something like that.
Respect, respect to him, bro.
That's crazy.
Um, he still wants to make movies though.
Yeah. Did you see that
That's
quote he said? Like
the one,
something about because they asked him because what's his name's retiring.
Tarantino.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "I'm built different."
Yeah.
Some
Something
shit.
along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah, but he made a good point. He basically
Yeah.
said, Tarantino is a writer. Also, he writes his own movies, so it's a
Yeah.
lot more,
Tedious and like
tedious
taxing.
and taxing on him. Whereas Scorsese says other people come to him with the ideas, and he just, does what he does with it instead of just coming up with the ideas on his own. I think this is based off a book too. This movie,
Yeah, it is. It is.
which apparently is very good.
I wonder how accurate it is to the book.
I don't know. I feel like stories like this are important though, because we wouldn't know anything
Oh yeah,
about,
you would never know this.
the Osage or how these Native Americans got taken advantage of for oil and
Yeah.
things like that. And especially how tragic Molly's story is. And I think after the movie, when it's showing, this is what happened to this character, this is what happened to this character, it said that she ends up dying at like 50 or something.
So Glassing's
Molly.
character.
Yeah.
I mean, she had
So
diabetes, and back then they didn't really know.
I know, but it's like such a tragic story because even after all that, she dies. She ends up dying
Yeah.
young. But
I had a feeling like she was gonna die, like from. You could tell throughout like the movie.
yeah, I just kind of, I mean, I know it's being accurate to what actually happened, but I kind of wish there was a more satisfying ending
Yeah.
for in terms of her, like if she got her big moment of, like
Sean. Yeah, it's a
yeah,
Sean.
but they're being accurate to what actually happened, which,
Yeah.
the truth sometimes isn't as pretty as you would
As
like it to be.
yeah, no, unfortunately.
Um, but yeah, in terms of ranking this with Scorsese's other films, I don't think it's near his best. It's just like a very solid, good movie.
Movie. Yeah.
Nothing about it really particularly like blew me away. Like I wasn't amazed by anyone's performance or anything really in particular. Although I did love the sets and like the costumes. I thought
Yeah.
that was
I
really
I
cool.
thought the sound the I don't know what the term is. I guess the general sound of the movie, like the music and stuff, was very good as well.
Yeah. I like how it did feel authentic to the time, but there wasn't
Yeah.
anything about it that, you know, that I was like, wow, this was fantastic. It was just very good. Like there's nothing bad really about it,
Yeah.
you know. I thought the story was interesting. Everything was solid.
I do think it was a little long.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, I don't think any movie should be 3.5 hours.
Yeah, like they could honestly, like they could have trimmed off 45 minutes in the movie,
I don't know,
in
because
my
that's the thing.
opinion.
I mean, at the same time, I don't know because of what could you really cut out? I can't. Like,
The
I don't
shit with
really.
like the detective and stuff, I feel like there's a lot of like just bullshit, like them walking around investigating stuff.
Yeah, 45 minutes though is a lot of time. I mean, maybe
Yeah,
they could
but
have cut off like 20 minutes,
mm,
but
even that 3 hours of yeah, even 20 minutes, dude.
yeah, it was tough though. It was definitely
Yeah, it was
tough.
tough. I had to pee
I
so
think
bad.
I know people that walked out after
You came
like
back
two
in.
hours. No, that That
they just left.
yeah, because a lot of people thought the movie was boring. I didn't think it was boring at all.
No, I didn't think it was boring either.
I was
I
very
enjoyed it.
interested in the story, and when you have these big time actors like Leonardo DiCaprio, I could just watch him and be entertained no matter what because
Yeah,
he's such a great actor. Same with De Niro. So we'll see. I
and
mean,
yeah, their chemistry is also great too.
yeah, I don't like the trend of these super long movies, especially awards contender movies. All of them are so
Yeah,
long.
I
It's
love
just
90-minute movies.
yeah.
My favorite. Obviously, like like an epic like this warrants like a very long run time.
hmm
But
But yeah, it is just a lot, and especially on the average moviegoer.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't know if I really have anything else. We could
yeah,
get to the rating if you want.
yeah. I gave it 4 stars, so an 8 out of 10. Um, I just think like we've said it pretty much. Like there's so much. It's a fantastic movie. Just for me, the runtime was a little too long to make it like a 4.5. But that's how I feel about it. I don't know. What did you rate it?
Yeah, I actually gave it the same 4 stars,
Yeah,
8 out of 10. So, like you said, it's a very great movie, but there wasn't anything in particular that would push it to that 9 out of
yeah,
10, 10 out of 10
and yeah,
kind of thing. That could be something that just is me personally. I didn't connect with the film as much, or something like that. It's not to take anything away from
the
Scorsese. I
movie.
mean,
Yeah,
8 out of 10 is still a really good score in terms of like how I rank things. But I wasn't disappointed by it. It was good, you know? So yeah, it's a 4 star.
yeah,
Um,
I agree.
but yeah, I don't think it's gonna take home too much hardware at the Oscars, but we'll
No,
see.
probably not. I don't think it's like close with Oppenheimer though. I think
Yeah, neither
Oppenheimer's a
do
better
I.
film.
I think Oppenheimer is way better.
Yeah,
But all right, now we could get to the greatest movie of
of all time. Yeah,
2023, uh, Five Nights at Freddy's. So the amount of times that we've talked about this movie on this podcast, it's at least brought up probably once an episode.
yeah,
I would say at least.
I agree.
Um, and I actually got to watch it twice since it came out this past Friday. I saw it once in theaters. I went in the city with one of my buddies, and we like both dressed in some FNAF gear. Saw it in the Regal in Times Square. It was like
Yeah.
a big crowd.
Did they have a
You
guy
know,
dressed up there?
no, they didn't. It was like
Um,
it was such a weird theater experience because they were doing construction in the theater, so everything just looked disheveled. There was like shit all over the place. I was so
I thought that was
confused when we
closing
got there.
originally.
That's the Union Square one you're thinking
Oh,
of. We went to the Times Square one,
oh,
but I tried to
was it
get
nice
like,
at least?
I mean, it was nice, but they
Just
were
the
doing
construction.
construction
Yeah.
in the theater, so there was no posters up. There was no
That kind of sucks.
like cardboard cutout things.
Yeah.
So I couldn't like take a picture in front of the Five Nights at Freddy's cardboard thing. You saw, I don't know if you saw the trend where a lot of people,
Or
excuse me,
stealing the fucking
yeah,
yeah.
it's mad funny. Like the kids just grab it and run, and like you see the
Yeah.
security guards chasing after
I don't
them.
know. I don't know why they would run out. Like, why the? What are you gonna do? Like, it's a fucking cardboard poster.
Yeah, but it's also like it's huge. Even if they steal it, like what the fuck are you doing with that?
Yeah,
You
that's what
know,
I'm saying. Yeah.
like let's just say we got our hands on one of those. Where would we put it, or what would we do with
The
it?
basement,
Where would that fit? Like, there's
like
actually,
in the back.
I
Like,
guess, yeah, that would be fire to hold though.
yeah,
I can't lie.
back of
Um,
your dorm. That would have been sick.
yeah. But yeah. Anyways, we could talk about the actual movie
Yeah.
some more. So basically, it's pretty faithful to the games. It follows the security guard named Michael Schmidt, who he gets brought on to this job. The guy who hires him is kind of like sus about it a little bit. He doesn't give him too much detail.
Yeah.
He just says, "Oh, this place used to be popular with kids back in the day." It's basically like a Chuck E. Cheese kind of thing. They have these big robotic animatronics that, play music for the kids and this and that. And he has to do the night shift there. But then as the movie goes on, you learn that the animatronics come alive at night and like move around, and
Yeah.
they have murderous tendencies. Um,
They get a bit quirky.
yeah, they get a bit quirky at night.
Yeah.
So Michael Schmidt is played by the famous Josh Hutcherson from Hunger Games fame.
What else has he been in besides? Like I was like thinking about it before I went to the theater. Like, what was he in besides Hunger Games? Like recently?
Honestly, I actually have no idea. The one thing I remember about him is I'm pretty sure he auditioned to play Spider-Man and like didn't get it, but he was like in the running.
Yeah, I actually saw people like posting about how he would make good Spider-Man after watching this.
Yeah, I thought he was really good in it,
Yeah, I liked
honestly.
him.
He was pretty solid.
He had the most depth in any of the characters.
Yeah. So yeah, he works the night shift and he has this little sister. He brings her there and you find out the animatronics are possessed by little kids. So they want to take his little sister to basically join them
And play.
and whatever.
I know a lot of people were complaining about because in the video games, like the animatronics are like pretty like vicious and stuff, but for the sake of the movie, it makes sense story wise if if the animatronics are possessed by kids that they're gonna want to play like with the kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's also like we know the lore and shit,
Yeah,
kind of. So like, I don't know. I did watching the movie twice though was kind of interesting because the first time I watched it, I was pretty disappointed
yeah,
like, seeing it in the theater because I was just like, damn, I really look forward to this for 8 months, and it was just like okay, like it was
yeah.
fine, it was pretty mid, whatever. But then when I rewatched it, I ended up liking it a lot more because I knew what I knew what to expect this
Yeah.
time. I wasn't anticipating some crazy like reveals with the animatronics or anything. And it was just
I
a
feel
lot more solid of a film on my
I feel like
second viewing.
you gotta go into the like movies like this, especially FNAF. Like kind of like how you watch like Godzilla movies, where like you're kind of like you know the plot isn't gonna be like the best. But honestly, Mike isn't even that bad. Like I like Mike as a character, so I can't even say that. But like you're more just focused on like the animatronics and the lore and shit.
Yeah,
Like you could tell they made this with only the fans in mind. Like people that don't know FNAF, this movie's probably like a 1 or a 2.
yeah. But honestly, the first time around, I really didn't like Vanessa's character at all.
I mean,
I just
I
like
don't
didn't
know.
understand like what she was doing. Like why did she go there? The first
I
like why was
have
she even there? Like I wasn't
I
getting it.
have a I think I have a feeling. I know. Well, I have a theory about like
You have a
what because
game
they said
theory?
that no, not a game theory, but
You have a
well,
Matt
yeah, it has to
Pat
do with the
theory?
games. Yeah. Speaking of Matt Pat, he was actually in the movie.
No, that was crazy, bro. The crowd actually went wild when he showed
I
up.
honestly like I recently like started watching his videos maybe like 3 weeks ago, but I didn't know what he looked like because he doesn't show his face in most of his videos.
Yeah, yeah.
So like he came on and we went with I went with my cousin Michael. He's like a bit younger than us and he loves FNAF. Like he's obsessed. And like him and like the people around us started going nuts and I was like, what the fuck? I don't understand
Yeah.
like what and he's like, oh, he's like a YouTuber.
Yeah, it's funny because he has the line where he's like,
There's a
"But
theory, yeah.
that's just a theory." But he says that in every single one of his
Yeah.
videos. Someone tweeted that they went to see it, and when he said that's just a theory,
I
it was
saw
like
this tweet.
it was like
In
just
Endgame.
as loud as when Cap lifted Mjolnir in Endgame. It was like they said it was like Cap lifting Mjolnir for
Yeah.
virgins or something.
That's actually funny.
Bro, I was crying laughing after that when I because me and my friend like just meme on like the
Yeah,
FNAF shit
yeah,
so hard. So we were actually crying when he said that's just a theory.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, sorry. What was your actual theory that you were saying?
I feel like so in the I don't want to like I don't know how I even explain this without going too deep into like the lore and stuff, but I feel like the reason why like Vanessa was helping out like yeah, like the Afton and stuff is because they're gonna probably reveal in another movie or because I think they planned the trilogy. They said right
Yeah, and they're definitely at
doing this.
least
Oh
making a
yeah, the
sequel.
two. Yeah, they'll probably get a trilogy.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but anyway, I feel like they're gonna reveal that she's gonna be responsible for like the bite of 87, and she kind of feels obligated to help uh,
Mm.
her dad, like she feels guilty.
Oh, like you think she might have been the
The
reason?
response,
Because
yeah, the reason why,
I
yeah,
get it. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, in the game's lore,
yeah.
one of William Afton's youngest son gets bullied by.
Well, we have to explain who William. We didn't even explain who William Afton
Oh yeah.
is.
So William Afton is basically the creator of Freddy Fazbear's,
Yeah,
and he makes these animatronics in order to, lure children in because they're these fun animatronics. Then he murders them
he likes killing kids for
for
some reason.
for like whatever his
Yeah,
twisted reasons. Um, so basically in the games, it's established that he has kids, and his youngest son kind of gets bullied by one of his older sons to the point where they're like teasing him about being scared about the animatronics. So the older son takes the youngest son, like puts his head into the mouth of one of the animatronics.
yeah. He says like, "Oh, I'm good to give it a kiss."
Yeah, or
Or
like
something.
whatever. And then because of how the spring locks work, the kid is crying and the wetness of his tears activates the locks and it basically bites down and crushes his head and kills him. And that's
Yeah,
like the bite of 87
87,
or the bite of 83 or whatever.
whatever it is. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's like a huge meme
moment
and
in
and like it's like the biggest FNAF moment.
that's like what would be the MCU equivalent of
The bite of 87, the snap.
the snap? Yeah, probably
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
But yeah, so that actually is a pretty good theory. Maybe she did that to her younger brother
yeah,
or something.
and that's why she
Because
like
yeah, this does veer off from the game lore because he doesn't
yeah
have a daughter named Vanessa in the games, William
yeah.
Afton. So they are doing
They
their own thing.
they kind of like you can see similarities for like the characters. Like you could tell Mike is definitely a reference to the other son because his other
I
son's
don't
name
think
is Mike,
so.
right?
Yeah,
Because
but
no, but that's
but
how you isn't that the guy you play as? Like he's a security guard, I think.
yeah, Michael Schmidt is a security guard. But actually there
No,
are
no, in the games,
yeah,
like
in the games, his name is
yeah,
Michael Schmidt. It
no, no.
says
But I'm
like
saying like you could tell like they base the character loosely off of like
off of
Michael
what?
Afton.
I don't think so. I think the character is just based off Michael Schmidt from the games.
Wait, the guy's name is Michael Schmidt in the games too?
Yeah,
I thought it was. Isn't that
there
supposed to be
is.
his son?
There's two Michael. There's Michael
No, but like,
Afton and
isn't
Michael Schmidt.
this is like the most? This episode's gonna be so long 'cause about the lore. No, but I'm saying like, isn't there? Don't you play as Williams Afton's son? Like, isn't he the security guard?
I don't think so. Well, in the first game, when you finish night 5 and they give you your paycheck for the week,
Yeah.
it's written out to Michael Schmidt. It's written on the check, Michael Schmidt.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's who you play as in the games, or in the first game at least. So that's what that character is based on. I think that there's a moment where when William Afton, or at the time it's Steve Raglan, where he's like
Yeah.
going under a different name. When he reads Michael's last name, he like stops for a second, and then he offers him the like Freddy's
Yeah.
security. So I think it was supposed to trick fans into thinking that his last name was Afton, because you think of like the people who know the games are like, oh, it's gonna be his son because he has a son
Yeah.
named Michael in the games. But then at the end, it's revealed that his last name is just Schmidt.
Right.
It's like to throw you off, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty
I
sure.
thought that was put in there because he killed his
No, it
brother.
was, yeah, it
Right.
was. But yeah, it's like realized after the fact.
We didn't even
Um,
explain that part either.
yeah, but no, I wanna
So
I wanna go
yeah,
back to the Michael thing from the games. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure there's a theory that Michael Schmidt actually is Michael Afton. They're the same person, and
yeah. That's I think they are. I
I don't
saw
know.
something.
I don't know if it's
Maybe
like
it's not. I don't know.
no,
Maybe
bro. Honestly, the lore is so complicated
yeah.
that I actually don't know. But yeah, so you could explain the thing about his brother.
So like it follows. So Michael, the character, basically when he's younger, he goes away on a camping trip with his parents, and he has a younger brother. And his parents go away for a second to do something, and they tell him like, "Oh, like watch your brother." And his brother gets like abducted. And there's a big like recurring theme of like him talking about dreams and stuff. So he's reading a book about like going back and looking at old memories and dreams to try and figure out like who took
Yeah.
his brother.
He basically is reading that, everything you see, it's stored in your mind somewhere, but you just you can unlock it through dreams. So he thinks if he like keeps having this recurring dream, eventually he'll remember what the guy looked like that took his brother,
Yeah.
which is kind of like an interesting way to, or I don't know.
So
It was interesting. I liked that part of the movie. Um, But yeah, that's another thing also. Like Michael Schmidt is definitely in the movies, at least he's definitely not William Afton's son, because you see his parents in his dream sequence. You see his dad, and it's not Matthew Lillard.
yeah.
So but yeah, so basically when Mike goes to Freddy's, the dreams become more vivid of his brother, and he ends up seeing like these five other children in his dreams.
Yeah.
And it's eventually revealed that those are the children that possess the five
dolls.
animatronics.
Well, no, not dolls.
Which is
animatronics.
which is the four: Freddy, Foxy, Chica, and Bonnie, and then the fifth is Golden Freddy. Now that Golden Freddy, I think that was something that if you don't understand the lore, you're kind of going to be like, what the fuck? Because think about someone who has no idea like anything about FNAF.
Yeah.
And then just like that animatronic just appears
and then disappears
in the home, and it's just like there's no explanation.
Yeah.
But obviously we know that it's Golden Freddy. But
yeah.
like I watched it with my girlfriend the second time, and she had no idea what was going on. So I had to like explain like,
Yeah.
oh, that's Golden Freddy, and she was like, wait, what? Like, what does that even mean? And I was like, honestly, I can't even like explain it to you. There's nothing I can say that would make it make sense.
Yeah.
But what was interesting?
Like I don't know if you saw, but because I've been watching a lot of like the there's no press tour, but like the interviews with with Jason Blum, the director, and Jason Blum said like they literally, because they would like, how should we appeal to the general audience and like keep fans at heart. They said they literally just made this movie for the fans. Like it's not made for other people to watch, but like if they want to watch and they enjoy it, it'll get I'm sure they'll like the games and stuff. But I mean, it seems to have paid off. It didn't track for I think 130 million, which is kind of insane. It was the largest opening box office for a Blumhouse movie, and it released on Peacock the same day.
Yeah, it's like unreal numbers. I told you, I was saying this the past couple episodes. I was like, it's gonna make so much money.
No,
I knew it was gonna.
Yeah, I know.
I thought it was gonna make over 100 mil for sure, but
yeah,
130 is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
and the budget was 20 million.
Yeah.
It's actually
Because
insane.
think about it, they only really shot in the actual place, and then like everything else was in like public areas. It wasn't like they were building sets and stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of the money they spent on the animatronics.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it was that's the best part of the movie is the animatronics.
Yeah. But honestly, there is something that I think for the next movie that's going to be big is, so they have Matthew Lillard as William Afton. Yeah. He's not the only founder of Freddy's. Yeah. There's another guy named
like
Henry
Emily, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was like the guy who was really good with designing the actual animatronics.
Yeah.
Like the robotics elements of it. I think because of how much money this made, they're gonna get like a big name actor to play that role.
Play him?
Like someone huge.
But he doesn't kill people, right?
I don't think so. But
I feel like in this they're gonna make him.
Yeah. I don't know if necessarily he's like the only big character that I could think of that they would bring in for like another game.
Yeah.
I mean another movie. But I have a feeling they're gonna get like a big name for the next movie, whether it be playing Henry Emily or be playing someone else. Because they're gonna.
Who would you like if you had to pick someone?
We need Willem Dafoe.
Nah, that would be insane. There's no way he would do it,
bro. I mean, you saw how much money this movie made.
Nah, I know,
bro. Honestly,
it would probably take 25 mil alone to get him to do that,
and it probably would be worth it.
They're not gonna double their budget for one actor.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna get someone big.
No, I agree. Probably somebody like attached that's been in a bigger, like a Matt Lillard type of.
Yeah.
Someone,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
What I was gonna say though is, so you have the 5 kids that possess the
Yeah.
5 animatronics. So, what's it called? William Afton abducts Mike's younger brother Garrett. Who does he possess? That's the question. I think it's gonna be revealed that he's possessing the puppet in the next movie, the marionette, because he has to possess someone. Like, why else would he get abducted and killed by William
Yeah,
Afton? You know.
that's true.
Um, there was also that other weird animatronic on the floor that was like a dog.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
Apparently it's like called Sparky or something. Michael was telling me. Yeah, so of course every time there was like a new animatronic, he would tell me like what it was in the game. So he said it was called Sparky, and it's like some type of offshoot in one of the. I don't know. Like there's so many restaurants in the lore and stuff.
No, but I saw someone. I watched like a video of someone breaking down the movie, and apparently Sparky was basically when FNAF 1 came out. Someone posted a picture of this dog animatronic that was like hidden in one of the rooms, and they were like, "Oh, like I got this really rare screen where there's like a 6th animatronic." And there was like a
Yeah.
huge hoax, and everyone thought it was real, and it was like Sparky the dog. But then it turned out that it was fake. So apparently
Uh,
it was a reference to that. But it was weird because they lingered on it for like multiple scenes. So I feel like it
I mean,
must have,
maybe they just it's probably just something for the fans,
yeah,
just for the because like they said, like me and you, like I didn't even know. I would have just thought it was another animatronic in the lore or something. But Michael knew what that was.
yeah. Also, the animatronic that they try to put Abby in at the end, I didn't recognize that.
I
It
think it's supposed to be a like some type of like a marriott. No,
it
well,
looks like
doesn't he put
Circus
his?
Baby a little
Yeah,
bit, but
I
like
think
a
it's
male version.
yeah, it's gonna be that like some play on that.
Yeah,
How does isn't that like in the lore like his daughter goes in that?
yeah. I'm pretty sure in the lore, I think it's Henry Emily's daughter
Um,
that gets accidentally killed by Circus Baby.
like rips her insides out or something.
Yeah, something crazy. Well, bro, it's low key like it's actually like super dark. And that
Yeah,
was one thing that if they
yeah,
I
that was
wish
part of.
like
Yeah,
I
it
knew
could
they
have
weren't
been a
gonna go
lot
R,
scarier. Yeah,
but if they did, like I would have a lot of it is like I said with Killers of the Flower Moon, it's not like in that movie it wasn't implied. Like the carnage that happened, you saw it.
yeah.
A lot of this was implied. So like
I
for
see.
example, the security guard that dies at the beginning, it just shows like Foxy running towards him and then it cuts. It doesn't show what happens
Yeah,
to him. The girl who gets cut in half, it shows the shadow of it. It doesn't actually show it.
yeah,
If they, I mean, obviously they can't because it's PG-13,
yeah,
but I would have enjoyed it a lot more if it
yeah.
was.
But you got to remember, this isn't catered to 24-year-old and 22-year-old men.
Yeah,
It's as much as the schools have. But then, like the thing I have to say too is like people talk about the gore and stuff, but the games aren't even gory. That's more of like the fans just like putting pieces together. There's no gore in
yeah.
any of the games. It
No, you're
relies
right.
on like the jump scares and stuff. So that's why like I understand the complaint, but it's kind of not fair because it's
Yeah. I was kind of annoyed that they didn't have any like game jump scares. Like where it's like
would they jump
the
at
only,
them?
the only one was the puppet. I mean, not the puppet, the cupcake where
The
it jumps at the camera.
Yeah.
I wish they
I
did
feel
that
like
more.
it's just probably hard to make that motion like with the you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're not CG. They're like
Yeah.
physical. So
Which yeah, I mean also I had to say the score like I don't know why I really like the original like the whatever that opening song is with the like kids in the background.
what'd you say about
You know
that
what I'm
song?
talking about?
Sorry, it
Like
cut
that
out.
opening score. I really like that score.
Yeah, it's good. The music was good.
Yeah. And then
Also, wait, one thing that we didn't talk about also was
well,
Balloon Boy.
oh yeah.
He's in it,
So
but it's just like a figure of him,
yeah.
which
I
I
don't mind
think,
that honestly because I feel like how that would look so like stupid and
I mean, I guess, but it's just an animatronic.
yeah.
But the thing that implies to me is here, Balloon Boy is from FNAF 2. He's like with the toy animatronics,
Yeah.
and that is a prequel in the game world.
Yeah.
FNAF 2 is a prequel to FNAF 1. So the fact that there's a Balloon Boy toy implies that
There's a
FNAF
toy.
2 location, like that place existed already in the past
What does still
because
exist.
Yeah, or still exists. Because I don't think they're gonna do a prequel as the next
Yeah, I saw
movie,
something that they're not going to do a prequel. Yeah.
but that implies that maybe down the line, or they could do flashbacks or something like
Yeah.
that.
You know what
Because
I would. I'm sorry. I'll say it after. Keep going.
yeah, what about the post credit scene where Balloon Boy, like the little figure,
Yeah.
goes into the taxi? Was that just like a stupid
I
thing,
think
or
it's
was
just like
that
a. I think it's just because the guy's it's a YouTuber, that
yeah,
guy. So I don't think I didn't take it as anything like
yeah?
Um, what was I gonna say? Oh no, I forgot. What we just
But
saw, like, what was I gonna say?
I was talking about Balloon Boy and how it's not gonna be a prequel the next movie.
Oh, do you think that like what do you think they're gonna go with the story in like the next one?
I don't know because when I rewatched it, also I was trying to like pay attention more to like
What they're trying to set up?
the dialogue and
Yeah,
especially towards the end. And Mike, or there's a point where Abby asks Mike like, "Can I visit them again?
yeah,
Can
and
I
he
see
says
them
like,
again?" And he's like, "You never know what might happen."
yeah.
So I
I
don't know
mean,
if
they're
maybe
definitely gonna do some like a sequel, but you know what I would actually really like them to do? I don't know if they would though, but it would be a prequel movie, but follow like William Afton like during the time of like him killing all the kids and stuff like that.
I think they're gonna show that stuff through flashbacks eventually.
Because like one thing I wish they showed was they didn't really show like I mean I guess it's revealed later on that he's Springtrap, but like it didn't show him like at Freddy's like during the time period when he was like taking the kids and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's just the picture that
Yeah,
Vanessa shows, and also that like um
yeah. They'd
that
have to hire
pixel
another actor
thing.
probably if they did a prequel.
Nah, maybe they could just shave his facial hair or something. I don't
Yeah,
think it was like
maybe.
that long ago. But did you
Um,
have who was your favorite character?
Mike.
Okay. I really liked William Afton the second time
I
around.
just like I don't know. Like I want like he's like the best performance in terms like, but there's just no like I like his character better than Mike in terms of like I know the lore and everything, but for the movie on its own, Mike's the best character. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, yeah, I understand. I still will
Like
choose Afton over
I
him
just
though.
feel like because he's really only in the movie for like 15 minutes max, 10 minutes.
He probably has like 10, 15 minutes of screen
Yeah,
time.
I mean he's great. He's great in every scene he's in, especially the ending scenes.
Yeah.
Um, but like there's no really like depth to the character just because you don't know enough about him yet. But like you, like me and my brother as the like as fans know like about him, but the general audience like they you know what I mean. To them, it's not they barely know anything about him.
Yeah. And also, like I said, how I said I watched it with my girlfriend the second time, I was
Yeah,
like using her reactions to everything to kind of like gauge what
you're
someone who
yeah
has no idea about any of this like
yeah.
thinks. And she really
But
like she thought it was mad scary, the movie.
really,
But she also said like she has a fear of animatronics.
animatronics.
She was always scared,
I
or
feel like there's
people in
always
like
everybody
mascot
like
costumes.
there's always like an innate fear of like even when I was a kid, I didn't fuck with them. I always thought they were creepy.
Yeah. And also
But
when I thought that like the general public when William Afton was revealed to be Steve Raglan, like the same
yeah,
guy, I thought it would just wouldn't make sense to anyone and people would just be like, "What the fuck? That's
yeah.
stupid." But she like gasped when he like took the mask
Yeah,
off.
so did actually I was texting my one of my friend's girlfriends. They went to go see the movie and they know I'm a fan and texting me like, "Oh my god, I loved it." And she said that she was like so surprised when it was revealed that he was William Afton. And I was like, "Damn, like that must I wish I knew like I wish I didn't like know as much kind of to
Yeah.
like get to experience that cuz me and you knew it right away. I think we knew
Yeah.
when they cast him, we knew it was going to be William Afton.
Yeah. So, but yeah, what about a favorite scene?
Uh, probably the ending, the Springlock scene.
I really like the scene. That's a good one, but I feel like that's gonna be like a popular, like most people's
Yeah,
favorite part. I liked when the animatronics were um killing like the people who broke in. I thought that
yeah,
was
yeah.
really cool.
That's like number two for me. How they
But
picked
also,
them off one on one.
yeah, I was thinking about it. I kind of wish the movie wasn't as like lore heavy. I wish it was kind of
Yeah,
more of
I
just
saw a tweet about that actually, saying like the problem with the movie is that it focuses too much on the lore and
I
because
wish it
like
was just
if
imagine it was just
well
like Mike in the like doing the
security,
security, and like every night he just has to survive. He has to try to like prevent them from killing him every night. But that's not really
yeah,
how it went at all. They don't really try to
yeah,
kill him until the last night.
yeah,
So, but it's hard to like balance that because I know
yeah,
they want to do the lore for the fans,
fans, but
but
for the
in
general
terms of
audience,
yeah, in terms of like a straight like horror movie about surviving the
yeah.
animatronics, it doesn't work as well.
Cause yeah, I think also too because they didn't know how well it would do, so they wanted to cram much as they could in this movie.
Yeah.
Because it, but I'm sure in the next one it'll be a little less focused on the. Because honestly, they got a lot of the lore in.
Hmm.
You know that that guy wants to kill the kids. You know how the animatronics work. So
Yeah.
there's no, you know what I mean. There's no
Yeah.
explaining to do.
Also, this isn't necessarily something that's like new, but the animatronics all looked
Oh
fantastic.
yeah,
The
and
practicality
also
of them.
the sound, like the way they moved, was fantastic.
Yeah.
they kind of made it like it was an Iron Man suit. The way it walked around, like you heard it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, I didn't realize this until I actually watched the movie when Mike like walks near Freddy.
Yeah.
They're actually fucking massive.
Yeah,
It's
dude, they're
like
huge. They're
he's
like
like
fucking
it's almost like double the size of him.
yeah. They're like probably like 7, 8 feet tall.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. It helped to,
Yeah,
give them more of a dangerous kind of
dangerous. Yeah,
vibe. But
I honestly thought the spring trap. Yeah, we still have to explain. I can't even get into that because we got to explain the story first for it to make sense.
the spring trap,
Yeah,
shit.
like
What?
the spring Bonnie suit.
What about it?
That was like my favorite suit. Not suit
Oh,
animatronic. Yeah,
yeah. It's not really an animatronic though. I mean, it could be, but it's a suit that he's wearing.
yeah,
So yeah, basically, the way that some of this that the suits were designed is that they could work on their own as animatronics that walk freely around the restaurant, but also the innards of them can be opened up to allow a person to enter the suit,
yeah,
and like so a person could wear it and walk around for whatever when they do parties
yeah,
or whatever at the restaurant. But what happened to William Afton at the end is the spring locks in the suit that turn it back into its robotic form activate while he's in it. So it basically crushes his like rib cage
yeah,
and kills him. Um, which is also that's like a famous scene from the
yeah. That was like
games.
ripped directly out of the game, right? That
Yeah,
scene.
yeah, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And it was the thing is also like here's another thing that doesn't make sense for the average moviegoer. Like he randomly just says, "I always come back," which like makes no sense. Really? Like why would he just say that?
I think though, as the audience can figure it out, like because he puts the helmet back on.
Yeah, it's just kind of like he says that it's like a famous
What
line
did
from the
Emily think
game.
of it? Like, what did she say when she saw that? Like, did she think have any? You know?
What, that line?
Yeah.
I didn't ask her about like that line specifically.
Does she like think he's gonna come back? Like, does she think he's dead?
Um, I think I told her that he's gonna come
Yeah,
back,
he's gonna come
to be
back.
honest. But
But I wonder what the general audience. I mean, because if you think about it, you learn that like they put them in the suits and they possess it. So like, if you put two and two together,
yeah, it's like his body's in the suit, so
yeah,
he's gonna possess it. But yeah, um, as much as I could talk on and on about the
yeah,
lore, we actually have
yeah
a lot of shit else
to
to talk
talk
about.
about.
So to go to ratings, on my first watch, I gave it a 2.5 star, so a 5 out of 10, and I was pretty disappointed. I can't lie. But the second time around, when I kind of knew what I was watching and was able to dissect it a little more, and I was also watching it from my own home, so I could pause it and
Yeah,
like rewind a little bit for whatever. I ended up settling at a 3.5, so a 7 out of 10. And I'm really
yeah.
glad I rewatched it because I liked it so much better the second time.
Makes me
So
want. I gave it a 3 out of 5, so 6 out of 10. I just some of the character besides Mike, like the characters are very, very forgettable. Which obviously, it's not. It's a FNAF movie. I'm not there for the characters, but everything else about it. I love the animatronics. I love like Matt Lillard and Mike, the character Mike. But it wasn't like anything that blew me away.
yeah, I think that the franchise does have a lot of potential for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll see where they go with it. We'll see if they
Well,
do the
yeah.
FNAF cinematic universe with TV shows and
Oh,
a
it's
sister
definitely.
location and all
They
that.
honestly probably will. They'll definitely do
Yeah,
something like that.
like a streaming show on Peacock.
Yeah.
But anyways, um, so yeah, that's our FNAF review, guys.
Yeah.
We've been waiting so long to talk about it. But to move on to some movie news, we actually have a decent amount, so we'll try to get through them pretty quickly. The first big thing is that Miramax won the rights to the Halloween franchise, and they said that they're going to do a cinematic universe which consists of
Interesting.
TV shows and movies.
Which nobody fucking asked for.
Yeah,
And it's
I
gonna
mean
be a waste of time.
we're not even far removed from the Blumhouse trilogy,
Trilogy.
but obviously they're never gonna stop making Michael Myers movies. He's such a well-known character.
Character, yeah. He's in Fortnite now.
Yeah, but it's funny because it was getting reported that A24 won the rights, so I was like, "Damn, that
Yeah,
could
I
be
was
cool. That
hyped,
could be
yeah.
really cool. Like an A24 Halloween movie might be sick." But then Miramax wins, and they're like, "Oh, we're doing a cinematic universe," which I don't really get how that would work for
Yeah,
Halloween.
what are they gonna like? How would that even work?
Like,
I
you
guess they'll
can't,
do a movie and then do a show about him or something. Like, I
yeah,
don't know.
but
It's
you
just,
can't like do a spin-off per
where
se.
is the show even gonna be on?
I don't know. I don't know what Miramax, like, if they have like a parent company or something, or if they have any type of
Maybe like
relationship
Amazon
with
or
any of the
something.
streaming services. Yeah, I don't know, but whatever. I won't judge until I see
Yeah,
something. So, another announcement was there is a live action Gargoyles series that's coming to Disney Plus that's going to be made by James Wan, who's very famous for his horror movies, such as Saw, Insidious franchise, um,
yeah.
a few others. I think he does The Conjuring as well, right?
I
Maybe.
know he did. I think he did the first. I think he did the first one. I don't know if he did the other ones.
Yeah, but yeah, I've never watched like the
Yeah, neither have
Gargoyles
I.
show, but I've always been intrigued by it. I feel like it might have been a little bit before our
Yeah,
time.
I feel like it's a cult classic. Like a lot of people want. Like I see, like a lot of people do like it.
Yeah. And anything James Wan does always interests me.
Yeah,
Such a big fan of his. Besides Aquaman, I don't really care about that.
I like Aquaman.
But yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
Um, Next we got A24, which I mentioned about Halloween, said that
yeah.
they're looking to seek out
A
big
big IP.
IPs to acquire. Maybe like big action franchises or you saw they tried to get Halloween, so horror
Yeah,
franchises. I think although they make great movies, basically
they're
none of their
not
movies are
profitable.
profitable at all because they're just smaller market and like indie kind of movies.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm trying to
they
think,
want to get something to make
what
money.
is like a big franchise that you think A24 could do well? Maybe.
Um,
I
I
was
don't know,
thinking like
dude.
maybe the Terminator franchise.
Yeah,
I was just thinking of one that maybe hasn't had a movie in a while that needs kind of like a fresh,
I'm trying to think of
maybe
what other like
maybe James
franchises.
Bond they could do. Although
Yeah,
they probably can't afford that.
no, I don't think so. I'm trying to think of like other. Do you think they'll go horror?
I mean, they are known for horror, so they could maybe try to maybe do a Hellraiser if they don't want to continue going forward with with the Jamie Clayton version.
Yeah, was there any news on that?
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I literally heard nothing. It's been like radio silent.
Yeah. I know they already acquired Friday the 13th rights.
Yeah, they're making like a
So,
show.
yeah. Yeah, that's why it also would have been cool if they got Halloween because they could have done a
Yeah,
crossover, which would have been cool. Um, but yeah, I feel like they'll find something to do, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they handle IP, like
yeah.
big IP. Um, but anyways, some other news. Let's see.
What else?
There's a couple Disney live action remakes that were announced besides Gargoyles. Frozen, Tangled, Princess and the Frog, and Tarzan are all getting the live action treatment.
How many live action Tarzan movies have there been?
I know there was one with Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah, and Margot Robbie and Samuel L. Jackson.
That ass.
Yeah,
Margot was in that.
yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna fact check you on that because I had no idea. Tarzan.
I don't know if it's called Tarzan, but it's like it's like the story of Tarzan basically.
Let me see. I can't really find it. I'm gonna look up Alexander Skarsgård quick. Let's see. The Legend of Tarzan. Oh yeah, it is. Margot Robbie, Christoph Waltz, Samuel Jackson. That's a
Mhm.
pretty fire cast.
Yeah,
2.4 though.
the guy from who was in fuck, he's in Guardians. He's in Gran Turismo.
Oh yeah, the guy
I think
that
he's in it too.
yeah, his name's hard to pronounce. Um, but yeah, I feel like Frozen will definitely be successful, and
Yeah,
the
Frozen will.
casting process to find their Elsa is going to be like huge.
Yeah.
Probably that's going to be such a big deal.
Do you think they
Um,
cast who plays her? Idina Menzel.
yes, I think I'm pretty sure
You think
she
they'll
does.
just
Yeah,
cast her?
probably not. I feel like she's probably a little bit too old, but I
Yeah,
mean, that would make the most sense for the music being just as great as
yeah.
it
I hope
was.
they take the approach that they did with the like, because the Little Mermaid, like, regardless of what you think of the movie, like the actress who plays Ariel, like her singing is the best part, in my opinion. Like she's fantastic when she sings. So I feel like it's a musical. They should focus on that.
Mhm. I wonder how
Like,
Olaf is going to look in live action.
I hope they just kind of make him look like cartoonish and not like
Yeah, I'm
real
sure they
world.
will.
Nah,
But
they'll definitely do real. Oh, they always do real world. So stupid. Like look, like the way like Sebastian looked.
oh yeah, that's
It's
true.
like, yeah.
Um, what's it called? What do you think about Tangled live action?
Uh, I mean, I don't know, man. They
Apparently,
got how many
Florence
times you gonna
Pugh
tell?
was in the
Yeah, I
running.
saw that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I
Wait, have you
just, I
ever?
don't.
This is what I was gonna ask, but it
Well,
slipped my mind. Have you ever watched Frozen 2 or no?
no,
Yeah, neither did I.
I
But
haven't.
apparently, I think that's like one of the highest grossing movies of all time or something.
Probably.
Um,
It probably made. Actually, no, let me look it up.
I'm pretty
Is
sure
it
it's up
good?
there.
Like, I don't. I feel like
I
it.
heard. I mean, I heard it's pretty good. I'll watch it eventually because the first Frozen is pretty good. I remember like, do you remember how insane of like a hold Let It Go had on the
Yeah.
world?
Oh my god, bro. Everyone had like a Frozen backpack in school and shit. Yeah, it
Yeah,
made 1.4. Frozen 2 made 1.45 billion. Jesus,
yeah,
dude.
yeah, yeah. That's why I'm surprised they also haven't made a Frozen 3 as well.
Well, I mean, it was announced.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Like they're already making the live action version of Frozen while they're like still making animated sequels to it.
Yeah. Well, like, look at Moana. Moana's going to be the first like 3D animated movie that's getting
Yeah, and what's it called?
and How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
I feel
So
like that's going to be good because
yeah,
it's
I
the
think
same
I think
guy.
people are gonna like the How to Train Your Dragon live action. I think
Yeah.
as long as
Isn't
the
it like the
dragon's not good.
same? It's the same guy who did the animated one.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm not worried. I'm sure it'll be like fine.
yeah. I'm sure it'll be good.
But with Disney, I don't know, dude. How many times are you gonna tell the same story?
It's because
When's
it
the last
makes
time they've
money.
had
That's
like?
why.
When is the last time they've had like a good original IP? Because probably Frozen was the last one.
Yeah. Um.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah. Sorry, I just saw a tweet that I thought was
What?
funny. It says Five Nights at Freddy's actor Matthew Lillard has been placed in a real springlock suit for the next 20 years as his
Oh, I
body
saw that too.
decays
Actually,
for his upcoming role in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Sorry.
That's,
No, that just
nah,
popped up.
I saw that before. Actually,
Um. Yeah, that was random, but and then the other one is Princess and the Frog. I definitely actually watched the animated, but I don't remember it. Um,
yeah, I don't remember. I'm sure
that
that'll
one,
make money though.
that's getting an animated sequel
Prequel.
show or something,
Yeah,
or maybe prequel. on Disney Plus soon. Tarzan, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
They quietly also released like a Peter Pan live action movie this year on Disney
Apparently it was
Plus.
solid.
I watched it. It was decent.
It looked
It was
it looked so boring when I saw the trailer.
yeah. Jude Law played
Plays
Captain Hook,
how was
and
he?
he was good. I liked him. I like him in general as an actor, and I thought he did a pretty
Yeah, I do
good.
too.
Peter
He's
Pan,
playing
the kid who
was
played
that?
Peter Pan just sucked though.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
That
So
sucks. Isn't he doing he's gonna be in that new Star Wars show, right?
yeah,
Skeleton Crew?
yeah, he's a great actor.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so another live action. Speaking of live action, Disney, Snow White, which was supposed to release March of 2024, got delayed basically an entire year. It's now releasing March 2025.
Yeah.
Obviously, probably has to do with the actor strike and things, but
Yeah.
we ended up getting a first look, and it's her with the seven dwarves, and they're CG animated creatures. So
They look pretty good.
thankfully, that set photo that was going around was not real because that looked
Yeah,
awful.
I saw online that it was like a diversion.
Yeah, I think they look pretty good, and I think this is a good compromise between not casting actors with dwarfism to play the
Yeah, I
dwarves.
agree. Without like disrespecting
Yeah,
people,
like if they just brought in like um, just
people that were, short.
people that weren't. Yeah, but if they brought in people that didn't have dwarfism and they were just regular people, I don't think it would have worked because it's Snow White and the seven dwarves, so
Yeah.
they're supposed to be like small. But that's why
They low
it's a
key could
good.
have done kids.
Yeah, I guess they could have done kids. That could have worked too. But we'll see. I think what's her face looks pretty good. Rachel Zegler.
Yeah,
She
I
looks
like
pretty
Rachel
good.
Zegler. She looks really good in the Hunger Games prequel.
Yeah, which also that's not next episode, but it's the
No, it's
episode
2
after.
episodes away, yeah.
We're gonna have a lot on that one.
Yeah, I know. That looks really
Um,
good. I
yeah,
don't even like the Hunger. I've never even seen the Hunger Game movies. I know the premise,
really,
but
really
yeah.
interesting. Um, all right, so other delays, the Bikeriders, which was supposed to release this year
Yeah, I
and
was
be
excited
like
for that.
an Oscar contender, got delayed till next year. Um, that kind of sucks because we had a trailer and everything. It was supposed to release within the next, month and a
Yeah.
half. So that kind of sucks. And not that I honestly wasn't that excited for it, but it's just another movie that probably would have at least been decent that it's getting pushed because of the strike. So that sucks.
Yeah. But I know. Hope apparently they're gonna agree on a deal like this weekend, I saw. Like today or
Yeah, but
tomorrow.
I also saw if they don't agree this weekend,
Yeah, they're not gonna talk until 2024.
yeah, bro, that would be
Bro,
awful.
that's a nightmare fucking timeline. There's gonna be no movies coming out next year.
Yeah,
We're gonna just have to talk about TV shows next year. Or like,
yeah,
I don't even know.
we'll figure it out. There'll
What
always
like
be shit releasing though.
think about like what is coming out from like March 2024 to like on. That's done filming right now.
I actually don't know.
There's like nothing really. I know that like spy movie with the guy who did Kingsman,
Argyle.
Argyle.
That's in February though, I think.
Yeah. But after that, like I don't know anything else. Everything's
Yeah.
getting delayed. I know Godzilla versus Kong apparently is going to be in March, but if they don't, that's going to obviously get delayed.
Dune. Dune
Dune,
will
if it
come
doesn't,
out. It'll come out on that date as
you
long as
think it
the actor
will?
strike is
Oh no,
over.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but
Yeah, but
well,
even
I
if the
mean,
actor strike ends in January, it'll still come out in like March or whatever. Because they
yeah,
just need the actors to be done
actors to promote
striking
it. Yeah,
so that they can promote it. It's already
yeah.
done filming, so
I'm kind of
yeah.
like a lot of movies suffered from that too. That there was no press tour.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Marvels is gonna suffer from it big time, which is
Yeah,
gonna
I
be our
don't.
next
I think it'll be
episode.
profitable, but I don't think it's going to make a ton of money.
Yeah, they kind of like stopped advertising for it,
Yeah, I kind of
but
just apparently it's. I don't know. Is it supposed to be good?
I think it's just supposed to be like okay, pretty like mid. So
Yeah,
we'll see. Um, another,
Loki's been pretty peak though.
yeah, Loki has been very good so far.
Yeah, I forgot how good Marvel can be at its best. Loki, I think, is the honestly in terms of quality is probably the best thing they've ever done.
Really,
Like, I'm like because you can watch Loki alone, and it's like a very good show. Like you can't really say. I mean, maybe Winter Soldier, but how many movies can you really say that about the MCU?
Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. Because I was gonna say like Endgame is like my
No,
favorite,
Endgame's awesome. Like it's a good movie, but
but
like
you need like so much prior knowledge.
yeah,
Uh,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah. Um. But anyways, there's
Yeah,
one other thing.
the Black Phone movie,
Yeah, the Black Phone 2 got
I,
announced for 2025.
which I kind of don't.
So the grabber dies at the end of the first one, correct?
Pretty sure, yeah.
So I guess they might do it as like a prequel.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm pretty sure the writer said he wasn't going to do another Black Phone unless there was a really good idea. And apparently the script is very good, or the idea for the script is very good.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
he's attached to it.
yeah.
Oh,
So
I thought you were gonna say like he's not attached to it. I was like, oh Lord, that's not a good idea. Is Scott Derrickson coming back?
I would say probably if they end
Yeah,
up doing it, he probably will come back.
that would be
Um,
pretty exciting.
yeah, that will probably be then a prequel, maybe about like another kid that he
Kid, yeah,
kidnapped.
one of the other kids.
Yeah, could be
Low
cool.
key, he would have been a good William Afton.
Ethan Hawke,
Yeah,
maybe he'll be the Henry Emily.
he would. I don't know. I don't think he would do that though.
Yeah,
He doesn't take shit like that. I mean, he did Moon Knight. That was pretty shitty. Not shitty,
yeah.
but
No, but it's like it's not like
yeah, not
awards contending kind of
yeah. I
stuff.
thought when he got cast, I was like, oh, this is gonna be fucking amazing.
Yeah,
But anyway, but
but yeah, and then the last actual thing I want to talk about is in the gaming world.
yeah,
Spider-Man 2
Spider-Man
came
2.
out, and we've been playing through it. It's
Yeah,
very, very good.
very good.
It's
Yeah,
it's better. It's a upgrade from the original game on basically every level.
every
Gameplay.
level. Yeah,
I don't know.
combat, getting around the
Story
city.
is like about as good. I would say
It's
I
just as
really
good.
enjoy the
Yeah,
story so far.
yeah.
It's hard to talk about it without like getting into
Mhm.
spoilers too much. But I think it's what they did with Venom was cool. The way they
Yeah,
handled the symbiote was cool.
and
I
there's
like
like,
I like Craven a lot.
yeah, Craven's awesome. If we didn't get this game, like the people would think of Craven the way they think of like Morbius,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
kind of insane. Like he's awesome. And he's probably the like the best. At least thus far in the game, how far I played, he's been the best villain.
yeah. He has a really cool story of why he's in New York and everything.
Yeah,
The only thing is, at least the part that I'm up to, it's never explained how he has all this tech and all this shit.
yeah. I don't know.
I have a feeling it's gonna be Osborn or
Osborn,
Oscorp that's like funding
it's
him, but
possible,
we'll see.
but yeah. There's also like teases to bigger things in like Marvel universe, I guess that they're in.
Yeah,
To other games. And also, I don't know if you saw, they confirmed that the Wolverine game takes place in the same world as the Spider-Man game.
yeah, which there was some confusion on, but I'm pretty sure that
Yeah,
was the intention the whole time.
which I think is cool. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I doubt Spider-Man's going to be in it. Maybe they'll like be a reference to him or something. You know?
yeah. I would say there'd probably be a reference or something because the game's gonna be rated M.
Oh, it
So
is. Oh, that's
yeah,
sick.
well, I think I'm pretty sure
I
I
hope
saw that it
so.
was. That would be sick. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Because I think they're thinking like, oh, maybe we don't want to do rated M because the sales will be less. But look how much fucking Call of Duty sells and
Yeah, dude.
GTA. So I don't think them making it rated M would be
No,
a bad thing at all.
and I don't even like they're not when it's rated M. It's just going to be like him like killing people and shit. I don't think it's going to be like I don't know anything insane.
Yeah.
But
Um.
how do you? I was actually going to ask you this with Insomniac because I feel like Insomniac's doing a lot of the these Marvel games and stuff. But I kind of feel like a gaming studio like that. It's awesome that they're doing these games, but they should a talented studio like that should do more of like their own stuff.
I mean, they do though. They make Ratchet and Clank.
No, I
Uh.
know, but when's
I
the
don't
last
know.
time they made like an original?
They made a Ratchet and Clank game like last year, I think.
No, like new store, like a new game.
Oh, I don't know. But Marvel, they're getting that Marvel money. So,
Yeah, I know. Do you think they'll do other superheroes?
well, if Wolverine's a success, which it should be,
Could be,
because
yeah.
so far they're 3 for 3. Spider-Man was great. Miles Morales
Miles was
was
great. This
great.
is great.
This is great. So honestly, though, playing this game has just like reminded me how good Arkham games were.
Yeah, Arkham is. I honestly, I love the Spider-Man games, but I think the Arkham games are better. I mean, we're
Yeah,
still
so
not.
do
We have
I.
one more game in the trilogy, but I was watching this. I saw a tweet actually that said Spider-Man looks like amazing, but I feel like Arkham there's like an artistic kind of like I don't know. There's a more. It's more stylized than Arkham. Like there's I
Yeah.
don't know how to explain it.
I also think it's just like less bullshit. Like you're just playing as Batman. You feel more like Batman. Like in the
Yeah,
game, sometimes you're walking around as Peter Parker. You got to play as Mary Jane for some reason at
yeah,
parts. It's like not that it breaks your immersion, but it's like why do you have huge important story sections where you're playing as MJ? Like what is the point of that?
yeah. I don't know.
Um, but whatever. I think I want to talk about it more in the next episode when we both finish the game for like what we
Yeah,
might think about what they're gonna do for the third and things like
yeah.
that. So
I don't know about you. All the DLC, not DLC, like the side quests, like I actually kind of enjoy. I don't mind doing them at all.
yeah, no, I like them
Like,
as well.
yeah,
I mean, they're not as tedious as like the Riddler trophies or anything.
yeah. No,
So,
no, I agree. I agree.
um, but yeah, I do want to move on though.
Yeah. To
I
get
wanted
on
to
to,
get onto our list for the episode, and this was one that I recommended the last or the episode 34, which I wanted us to break down our top 10 horror franchises. It is
yeah.
the 29th today, so we're in Hollow
We're out
weekend.
peak Halloween season. Yeah.
Yeah, and we did do
Well,
top
actually,
10. We
um,
did our top 10 horror movies, but this is the top 10 franchises where it's like you take into account the good
yeah.
and the bad
Before
movies.
before we get into this, we forgot to mention something. We actually both went to Halloween Horror Nights. We didn't get to talk
Oh,
about that.
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we could talk
Yeah.
about that. Um,
Which you got to do more of the houses because I only went for one day. You went for like what, 3 days, right?
yeah, I did it for 2 nights.
Yeah.
So I did, I think, 7 out of the 10 houses.
I only
Um,
did
I
three.
I really loved it,
Yeah, it was oh my god, bro. It was so much fun. It
and
just
honestly, I'm the type that like I don't do well with being scared. I hate getting scared. I hate jump scares, but I still had a great time in the houses. I kind of was just like,
yeah, it's fun, you know.
I like really
But
didn't want to at first, but then I was like, yo, like
just do
I
it,
just
yeah.
have to do it, and whatever. Like I'm gonna survive. And then after like the first 2 houses, I kind of
Yeah,
warmed
you're
up to it.
fine. Yeah.
You
It's
know
it's
what's gonna
fun.
happen.
Yeah.
It was fun, yeah,
I love that stuff. I love haunted houses. So I've always wanted to go. And this year like it finally lined up where I was able to go. But
yeah.
I only did three houses. But I didn't get to do The Last of Us, which I was kind of upset about, but I did
Mhm.
Stranger Things. There was a Chucky house and
Yeah,
what
Chucky
was the
was
other
my
one?
favorite house.
Exorcist. Exorcist was actually like that was the only one I was actually scared of. The other ones were good, but
Yeah,
The Exorcist was actually fucking scary. Dude, when I was
yeah,
in it, there was like a lady in front of us walking and like there's a scene in the movie The Exorcist where the two girls are like tied up to a chair and like the girl's in the chair and she like jumped out at them and the woman like fell back and there's like a table there and she fell and like knocked over the table and like everything flew off the table and like I at first I didn't know if it was like part of the like the the haunted house or if this just woman just fell. I was so confused, but it was a lot of fun.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say Chucky is my favorite for sure,
Chucky
and
was
then
awesome. Yeah,
I also, but you know, like the part in the Chucky house where you go outside, so you think it's like over.
yeah, yeah.
When I went to that part, like we were one of the first people online, so it was still
Hmm.
light out. So when it let us out, I
Yeah,
was like, like this is over. Like it was light out, I could see everything, but there was like a dude hiding behind like a wall outside,
yeah.
and he actually like scared the fuck out of me, like so bad. I jumped. I actually like jumped and screamed because
Oh,
I
I was
thought like
screaming, dude.
I was like, wow, that house was short. And as soon
Yeah.
as I said that, he jumped out, and I actually got so shook. But I really did like that house, though. I
Yeah, that
liked
was
how
fun.
they had Chucky. They had like people
Like Chucky,
puppeteering
yeah,
Chucky, and they also had people dressed up as big
yeah.
Chuckies. They had people with Chuckies
Like
on
Chucky,
them.
like stabbing them and so, yeah.
Yeah. Another house, you didn't do this one though, but the Universal Monsters one, that one was
Yeah, I
sick.
wanted to.
I
That's
really
so
like
tight.
that one. I like the vibes of it, and it was set in like a Victorian London kind of
Yeah.
thing. That was really cool. Like you said, The Exorcist was good.
The
I
Exorcist one
did
actually scared me.
I did two of like the Universal original ones, the Yeti one, and
I
then
wanted to do the original one. My friends will only want to do the IPs because the original ones I find more interesting because like you don't know anything about it.
yeah, the Yeti one was cool. It was just people like in gorilla suits jumping at
Yeah, that
you.
would have been
So
fun.
it was
When I
more
was
fun.
when I was waiting in line for Stranger Things, like because I guess where I was like is where the actors like come out and stuff. So like I guess they were changing shifts. So like you just saw like 10 or 15 people walking out in, like giant monkey suits, like walking across the thing. It was mad funny.
Yeah. I know they had the Dueling Dragons. I didn't get
Yeah,
to
I
do
didn't get
that
to
one,
do
but
that.
that
Yeah,
seemed cool. Apparently that was like you could choose your fate, so you could go two different ways, which is pretty cool.
yeah,
And I saw like you said, the characters walking out. I saw the characters for that house, and they looked all really cool. They were
yeah,
kind of like royal, like dragon, medieval kind of
yeah.
costumes,
That
which was
type of
cool.
vibe.
But yeah,
But
I really, really loved it. I think I'm gonna,
yeah,
as long as I can afford it and get the PTO for my job,
yeah, me too.
I'll
I'm
go
gonna
every
go. I'll
year.
go again. Yeah, hopefully. I feel like. Do you think they'll do a FNAF house next year?
I think it's almost a guarantee that they will do a
Yeah.
FNAF house next year. Yeah.
I wonder like how they'll, because they can't. You think they'll let there be gore in it and shit?
I mean, yeah, why not?
Yeah. I
Though
don't know.
there's gonna be just
That'll
people.
probably be like the first like PG-13 house because I feel like everything else is rated R.
Well, was the Black Phone rated
Oh,
R?
actually, no. Stranger Things. Stranger Things.
Yeah, yeah,
What was that?
exactly.
Is Stranger Things like mature or whatever? It's
No,
TV, so
no.
I guess it's all right.
Yeah, no, it's not. Um,
So they could do. Yeah, you're right, dude. They could do FNAF.
and it would be perfect. You walk through the pizzeria,
Yeah, like the
and
yeah.
they'll have security guards in there,
Scare
and
you.
they also could base it on the game, like how they did The Last of Us was based
Last
on
of
the
Us,
game.
yeah.
So,
Honestly,
you know,
that might. I feel like maybe they'll do that.
yeah,
I don't know. That I is. I hope they do it, dude. Oh my god, bro, that would be insane. I'd be
that would
so
be
hyped.
so funny.
Yeah,
But
but yeah.
yeah, that
Anyway,
was great. Yeah, thanks for
yeah,
bringing that up because I forgot about that.
yeah. I just realized like before.
Yeah. So, anyways, move on to the list. Like I
Yeah,
said before, top 10 horror franchises. So I'll just go right off the bat. I'll start up with number 10. And 10 for me is Friday the 13th. I
yeah,
think the franchise overall just really sucks. The first movie
yeah,
doesn't even have Jason in it. Um, which it's not that's not necessarily to say that that movie's going to be bad just because it doesn't have a big slasher in it, but for a slasher franchise that is
yeah.
known for having Jason, when you go back and watch the first one and he's not even in it, it's kind of
It's
like,
kind of a disappointment. Yeah,
yeah. I think the best movie is Friday the 13th Part 6,
I
which
haven't seen any of them in so long.
yeah, I like watched the entire franchise like maybe a year or two ago, and Part 6
Yeah,
was my favorite, but I think most of them really just suck, especially towards the end. Like
yeah.
Jason
Like
X.
Jason X. Yeah. Was Freddy
Yeah.
versus Jason good?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean,
Yeah,
is it good? Maybe not, but
yeah.
it's Freddy versus Jason.
No,
So,
yeah, I know what you mean.
but yeah, that's my number 10.
My number 10, I had well, this was like hard because it's like kind of a franchise, but like just general like werewolf movies because there's no like direct franchise with that.
Okay.
So like just like I don't know. I always thought the concept of werewolves is really cool.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, obviously everyone knows like the American Werewolf in London, and but there's been other like, I mean, there was the one from 2010 with what's his name, Guillermo del Toro, right? No,
Yeah. No.
yeah,
Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro and Emily Blunt.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
And yeah, it was solid, but I do like the kind of classic monsters a little bit. But I mean, hopefully they were supposed to do one with Jake Gyllenhaal, not Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm sorry,
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, which I
Yeah.
hope they do.
No, I
But
like werewolf stories as well.
yeah,
I really like them. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, so 9 for me was the Conjuring franchise, which that includes like all the spin-offs, Annabelle, The Nun, all that
Yeah.
shit. The first Conjuring is such a great and like
Yeah.
monumental horror film. And I think for the most part the universe is like solid to bad, but I think as a whole I would still take that over Friday the 13th for me. So
Yeah,
that's
they're definitely the Conjuring is better than probably all the first Conjuring is better than probably all of Friday
yeah,
13th movies.
yeah.
Yeah.
So all right.
For number 9 I had Saw.
Mm.
I'm not like I like Saw, but I just feel like it's kind of like one dimensional the horror. It's just more for the gore. It's not actually like it's just a like it's not scary per se. It's just like the gore. It's scary to be in those situations and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that's
You know what I
true.
mean?
Yeah.
So I mean I do enjoy the movies, especially the gore. Like that's what you're there to see, but
Hmm.
it's a little one dimensional.
Yeah. So all right.
Yeah.
I'll move on to my 8.
Mhm.
8, I had the Halloween franchise, which we discussed a little before.
Oh,
Um,
what the? How the fuck did I forget that?
yeah, I don't know.
Dude, there's
Sorry,
so many fucking It's like it's hard to,
I forgot Gran Turismo last week, so it's
yeah,
all right. What can I say about Halloween? Michael Myers,
yeah.
Laurie Strode.
That's probably my favorite Final Girl.
Yeah. Although I will say the one bad thing about it is the movies aren't consistently good. There's definitely some duds in there,
Yeah.
and a
I
lot of them
do
are
hope
shit.
for the new franchise, if they're gonna do something new, like move on from Laurie Strode, like do like their own, you know what I mean? How many
Yeah,
times are they gonna tell the same, like do something different, do it in a different setting, change
yeah,
it up.
yeah. So, all right. What's your
Yeah.
8?
8, I had like The Silence of the Lambs or like any the Hannibal Lecter. Well, there's been a couple movies. There was a show.
Yeah.
I actually really like the character Hannibal Lecter. I think he's like so like because he's like a super sophisticated kind of person,
Yeah,
and
he's
I don't
like a
know.
genius.
Yeah, yeah. And the show is really good. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Hannibal?
Yeah.
Is that the one with Mads Mikkelsen?
Yes.
Yeah, I
I
haven't seen
watched
it.
like the first 2 seasons. It was really good.
I've heard great things, and people were like tight that they canceled it.
Yeah.
So,
It is very good.
have you seen
He's
any of the other like Hannibal Lecter movies?
Hannibal
Like,
Rising. I saw.
there's one called like
I
Red Dragon, I think, or something.
I don't think I've seen that. Let me look up. I'll look up. I know obviously Silence of the Lambs.
I'm pretty sure there's one called it's like something Dragon. I think
Let
it's
me
Red
see.
Dragon. Yeah, Red Dragon.
Let me look it up.
Um, let me see. I think it's a prequel, maybe. It came out after the movie Hannibal.
In 2000, the one with let me see, Hannibal Lecter, like the movies, because I don't know like the time. I forgot like the time is. Oh, Red Dragon. I don't think I've seen Red Dragon.
Yeah. No,
Is
the
that
only reason
Edward
why,
Norton in it?
yeah, he is.
What the fuck?
The
Damn, I
reason
gotta
why
watch
that,
that.
yeah, the reason why that franchise isn't on my list is because I've only seen the first one, and I haven't seen the TV shows.
Oh
But
no, I've seen Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, Hannibal Rising, and the show.
yeah. Um. All right, I'll go to my 7 then. This one we're gonna talk about later, but Child's Play
Yeah,
franchise, all the Chucky movies. I think they're very campy, but I do love Chucky so much. He's up there with one of my
yeah,
favorite
yeah.
slashers.
And I
Um,
recently started watching, as we're going to talk about Chucky later, but I watched like all three, and then I watched Bride of Chucky. So I actually really, I really like Chucky. I think he's like a really fun
yeah.
character.
Um, and Brad Dourif does like a fantastic
Yeah,
job playing him. And yeah, they're like pretty consistent. Some of them are obviously way worse than others,
Yeah.
but they're not like terribly bad, like say
Yeah. On
some
their
of the
own, they're fun
Halloween
at
movies
least.
are.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think the worst one is 3.
yeah. It has like a weird storyline with
Yeah.
an
I
older
know
Eddie.
people did in the fucking army and shit. I know people shit on Bride of Chucky, but I actually really liked it. It knows exactly what it is. Like it knows it's campy. Because the first
Yeah.
one, they kind of go for like straight horror,
Hmm.
and then the second one is like a little bit of balance, and then this one is like perfect. Like it's like it's like a horror comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
All right.
yeah,
What are you up to? 7?
no, I'm 6, I think.
No, no, no. You got to, yeah, because Child's Play was my 7, so it's your 7 now.
Oh, okay. So then 7, I have Alien, the Alien franchise.
Oh, that's a
I
good one. I forgot.
it's like, I mean, I know it's technically not horror, but just the whole idea of like
No, that's horror.
being in
At least the
space
first
and
one's definitely
yeah,
horror. Have you seen Prometheus and
yeah. A
those newer
while
ones?
ago. Yeah. It the dude, what's his name? Fassbender's in it, right? Michael
Yeah,
Fassbender.
I
It's
know
like
they have
weird.
kind of
It's
like
like a
they have a
prequel or
big following.
something.
Yeah, I haven't seen them, but yeah, that's a great one. I forgot to include that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But for
Yeah.
6 though, I had the Hellraiser franchise. I
Okay.
really love the first
Yeah,
one.
I love Hellraiser.
I love the Cenobites. I love Pinhead. And I think that the first 3 are solid. I really like the third one, but then like it just goes to complete shit after that.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah, I
all of them
agree.
after 3 are terrible.
Yeah.
Um, but I think I like the first 3 so much that it just boosts the overall
Yeah.
rating of the franchise that much higher for me. So,
Yeah. Fair.
what you got for
For
6?
6, I had Scream.
Wow, that
Yeah.
low?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest I really only like the original. The other ones are kind of forgettable to me. I like the newer ones too,
Yeah,
but I don't know. I just never really got into the kind of because it's like a murder, not murder mystery, but like kind of who did it kind of.
who done it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
all right.
they're good. I mean, I enjoy them.
Yeah,
The first one's still my favorite.
yeah, same. Um, all right, number 5 though for me, A Nightmare on Elm Street. The first movie is fantastic. It's one of my
Yeah,
greatest horror movies of all time for me.
yeah.
But
They
a
start to decline
lot
in
of the rest
quality.
of the
Yeah,
franchise is very bad.
bad.
1
Yeah, then
and 3 are very good.
good. What is 3? Dream Warriors?
Yeah. And then New Nightmare is very good. The
What
rest
is
are
it?
pretty terrible. New Nightmare is Wes Craven came back to do
Oh, yeah, you're
another
right.
one, and it's like it takes place like breaking the fourth wall, kind of.
Oh, really?
Like Heather Langenkamp plays herself in the movie, and
Oh,
it's like
really?
it's very meta. It's like they're filming a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and then Freddy like somehow comes into the real world. It was kind of
Interesting.
like Wes Craven testing out his ideas, and then eventually he went on to do Scream after.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Interesting.
that was 5.
Yeah. 5 for me. This might be a little controversial, but the Pearl X franchise, I
Wow.
l- I really really like. But think about it this. I mean, I know it's early, but the first 2 movies are like fantastic, and then they have Maxine coming, which I mean, from what the first 2 look like, it's probably going to be really good too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just really like the character of, especially just Pearl. Her's like, is just such a cool character. She's fucking insane.
hmm
I
I
was
saw a
actually
lot of people actually dressed up as Maxine for Halloween,
yeah.
which is pretty cool.
I actually was rewatching the scene of her with the dude who's playing Superman now. Oh
Corn
fuck, what's
Sweat.
her name? Yeah, and she's just like so like she's just like terrifying. Like
Yeah.
they don't talk like she starts screaming at him and then stabs him with
hmm
a pitchfork.
Hopefully,
Just
Maxine is just as good as the other two.
I think it will be,
Yeah, I agree.
but yeah, I know it's a little
All right.
controversial, but
And then 4th place for me was Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. The
yeah,
first 2, again, very good. First is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think, is the best horror movie ever made, probably. And then 2 is very different, but it's still very good. There's a lot I
yeah,
like about it. I really like Leatherface. There's a couple other characters that they add that are cool. And then after that, there's a couple misses, but there's a couple solid movies. So I think that
yeah,
first movie just pulls the weight though of the whole franchise for me.
yeah.
So yeah,
Fair.
that was 4.
4 for me was Nightmare on Elm Street. I remember like when I was younger, I used to like really like Jason, but it was like only because I played hockey and I liked the hockey mask. But like in terms of quality, like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies are just like so much better. And I think Freddy's like way more of a creative. Like you could do a lot more with Freddy in terms of kills and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like the possibilities are endless, basically.
yeah. And Jason is very one-dimensional. He's just
Yeah,
a
it's just
guy
a
with a
dude.
machete. That's
Yeah,
basically it. Um,
but yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that's a good one.
what do you
All
got
right, so
for?
we're in the top three.
Yeah,
Number three, this one you're not going to agree with, but Saw, the Saw franchise.
yeah. No, that's
I
fair. I
think,
mean, a lot of people like it.
yeah, I think there's a couple within the Saw franchise that are like 4 stars for me, and there's like one or two, 3.5s, and then there obviously are shitty ones, but I think
Yeah,
as a whole, I love the concept of Saw and all the traps and testing people, and it goes into question of the morality of
yeah.
Jigsaw. I love Tobin Bell
Tom Bell is iconic. It's
as Jigsaw. And also, this is a franchise that is still going to this day. We just had
Yeah.
a Saw movie like
I
2 weeks
still,
ago.
I think
So
the new one is the best one. Honestly, I know you
I
won't agree, but
I think it's the second best one, but it's
it's like
close.
it's actually like a good movie. It's
Yeah,
not just like It's not just like gore. Like it's a good movie in general.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
For number three, I actually had Hellraiser. And this one I kind of only started watching because I didn't really watch them when I was younger. I watched like the first one, and then you recommended it, and I watched like the 4 or 5 of them. And I just love Pinhead, and again, the Cenobites are just like so unique, and I like that type of gore, kind of
mhm.
body horror type of stuff. So I love that,
Yeah,
and they really dive into that, especially in the. I know they're not really in the first one, but like 2 and 3,
yeah. Three
and
is
then
when they make Pinhead like a pure slasher, which I
yeah, he
love.
just pulls up to the fucking like club and like murders everybody.
Yeah. Um. All right. Yeah, that was your three.
Yeah,
All right. Number two, my runner-up is Evil Dead franchise.
yeah.
Very
Wow,
consistent.
I didn't think it was gonna be that high on your list.
It's consistent all across the board.
Yeah, it is. There's no bad Evil Dead movie. All 3 of them are good.
Yeah, and even Rise is good.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's part of the trilogy. I mean, I don't know if it's part of the same franchise per se,
I think it is. They said it's connected.
but yeah, one is great. Two is a
2 is
complete
amazing.
improvement on one.
Yeah,
And Army of Darkness is very
Darkness is more
different,
of a
but
yeah. It's like more
it's
straight up comedy.
still very good.
Good.
There's like you said, not a single bad movie within them.
And
So
then like what is it? The Evil Dead is the
yeah, even the Evil
that
Dead
and is good. And it's
and
that one's it's different though. There's no really like uh because in the other ones it's kind of like a goofy
mhm,
aspect to it, especially in like 2. It's a little well, I don't know what the term is, like campy, I guess.
yeah, can't be.
This straight is a straight up horror, and then the new one, it's not so per se like campy, but like the mom that gets possessed, like she's like they give her like a personality. In the other
Yeah,
ones, he's just fighting like random ass fucking like demons and shit. Like she's kind of like a character.
yeah, yep.
But yeah, but
So
for anyway, for 2, I had Child's Play. I know, and like quality wise, it's definitely not the best, but I think Chucky is just such a cool character. I've grown to appreciate Chucky like so much more now after watching these. I think
yeah.
he's like fucking hysterical too.
hmm We'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk about
Yeah,
him
we're gonna talk
more
more about it
after
in
this.
yeah,
But so
yeah.
all right.
I know what your one's gonna be.
Yeah,
I'm
my
pretty sure you know what
winner
my one's gonna be.
number one is Scream franchise. Again, no bad Scream movie. Very consistent across the board. Um, maybe my second favorite Final Girl with Sydney Prescott. Her and what's her
The
face?
new what's her name's daughter? What's his name's daughter?
No, her.
Uh,
Oh no, I was gonna say her and Nancy from
oh,
Nightmare on Elm Street. Those are
the
like
runner
my
up.
two. Yeah, they're both like I switch
Yeah.
between them of who was my favorite Final Girl. But
I like the new one and Jenna Ortega. I like them
yeah,
together then.
yeah, Melissa Barrera,
Yeah.
her character. But yeah, it's a franchise that has been consistent, still is relevant
Yeah,
to
they're
this
all like
day,
solid. Yeah, the new
and
ones
they're
were
still
pretty
good. Ghostface, such an iconic look
iconic,
and
yeah.
an iconic slasher, and the murder mystery aspect of the films makes them all interesting to me because
Yeah.
you know you don't know who the killer is every film, so it's
Yeah.
kind of like it is a whodunit and it keeps the movies
Yeah.
intriguing. Although I
Interesting.
was pretty disappointed by Scream 6. Hopefully Scream 7
You didn't
is
like Screams? I thought it was solid.
it was okay. I gave it like a 3 star, but
Yeah.
like the first movie to me is like a 4.5 star. So
Yeah. I know you hold it like very
yeah,
high.
but there's not a bad Scream movie. There's ones that are
Nah,
better than
yeah, I don't
others,
think there's
but
a bad Scream movie either. I agree.
so yeah.
Um, and for me, I'm number one is I have the Evil Dead franchise. I don't know. I forgot if you recommended it to me or our cousin Joe recommended it to me. He's like, "What you should watch? Like Evil Dead. It's a quick movie. It's like 90 minutes." I was like, "Oh yeah," and I liked the first one, but when I watched the second one, that's like when I really fell in love with it. And I love the new one. That was like one of my favorite movies to come out this year.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
But yeah, hopefully we
So
get another one. We probably will. I think.
yeah, I'm sure we will.
I can't believe that was gonna go. That was another one. They were gonna put that on streaming.
Yeah. But I think after test screenings, people liked it so much they
Yeah,
were like, let's just release it in theaters. So
but yeah,
all right. Yeah. That was fun. That was a good one.
yeah. That was a good
I'm
one.
trying to think if there's any that I left off. Like yeah, Alien, I probably if I could go back
Yeah,
and redo it, I probably would put Alien on.
Halloween. I know Texas Chainsaw Massacre is good, but I haven't really seen. I've only seen the first one, so I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, two you would like.
I
I
haven't
got a
seen them
kick
in a
out of
while,
two.
but you know what's another one that I like? I don't know if it's a franchise really, but The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh.
I don't know if you've seen that.
I think I watched the first one and I thought it
There's
was
like
like
a couple of
okay.
them, and
Yeah.
then I
Yeah,
mean
I
it.
watched the first one. It was okay.
It I guess you could clap. It's technically a franchise.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
yeah, but we pretty much covered the main ones.
yeah. All right. So we can move on now. We'll move on to the
Yeah.
movie you recommended. So you could go ahead and introduce it.
So I recommended the movie Child's Play, which is about it follows the story of there's a murderer named was it Charles what's his name? Charles Lee Ray.
Yeah.
Charles Lee Ray. And he's like some type of like voodoo, like Satanist person, and he's in like a robbery and he's trying to like get away from the cops and they end up like shooting him and he dies. But while he's dying, they're like by a toy store. He transfers like his soul into the body of the doll, and this little kid ends up getting the doll, and it just follows like basically what he goes around
Yeah.
like killing people in the house, and then you eventually find Chucky realizes like the longer he stays in the body, um, the less likely he can't get out. He's gonna have to stay like that, and he finds out that he has to kill the first person that he sees that he revealed himself to as a doll, and it's the little kid that he saw. So he has to try to kill him.
Yeah. That's
Pretty
basically
much,
a
yeah.
pretty fire synopsis. Um, for me, rewatching this movie was a lot of nostalgia. I
Yeah,
remember being so
we were
afraid of
terrified of
Chucky.
Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there were certain scenes that I like vividly remember. Like the scene where Chucky's in the detective's car and he's stabbing him with the knife through the seat. I
yeah.
remember like watching clips of that on New Year's Eve.
Why?
And I remember in our uncle, I guess is he our great uncle? What is it when
Oh,
it's your parents' uncle, Uncle Anthony?
yeah. I guess so. Yeah,
He's our great uncle, whatever. We used to go to his house for New Year's Eve back in the day, and
yeah.
all our cousins would be there. He had this back room with like a computer in it, and we would use the computer. And I remember, I think our cousin Joe or one of us like was pulling up clips from Child's Play, and I remember that scene, watching it on that little computer in that room on New Year's, and being like so scared.
I
And
think it was like just the idea that like I don't know, because like our sisters had dolls and stuff, and they had dolls that could like move around, not move, but like they open their eyes and talk. So seeing something like that, like was kind of scary to us because the dolls are in our house. I remember Alexandra had like that. I don't know what it was called. It was some type of doll that moved around, and it freaked up me and you out so much that like
And we asked mom to take the batteries out of it. We went to tell her to check
Yeah.
the batteries or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chucky is very. This was at the point where they didn't know what they were gonna do with it.
Yeah,
It was more
a
scary
horror. Yeah.
than the other movies. A lot of it was still funny, like Chucky cursing and
Yeah.
like calling
Like you
the mom
fucking
a
bit.
bitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
And some of the
Also,
kills are a little goofy.
yeah.
Like the
Definitely.
first lady, the way she dies. I was actually
Yeah.
laughing when I saw that.
She got hit with a hammer and then like fell back, like kept backing up, smashed through her
6 to 8
window.
feet, flew out the window.
Yeah. Also, somehow that lady who can barely like afford to lives in like the 8th floor of an apartment complex or something. That's like mad nice. Um, but yeah, I really love Chucky.
That dude, like,
And
he just, I don't know, man. It's just something about him. It is funny how I enjoy it like a lot more now, but as a kid, I was absolutely like terrified.
yeah, looking back, it's not that scary
No, not at all. I don't know why I was so scared.
because you're a kid. Like this, it's stuff that you're used to seeing in real life, like dolls, and it's like they could kill you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I wasn't really like scared of a lot of horror when I was a kid, but Chucky was just he always got to me.
For some reason, yeah.
And Chucky has a lot of fans. I think more than I realized. When I went to Halloween Horror Nights, a lot of the people that were around the park were wearing like, you know, shirts from their favorite horror movies or whatever. And most of the shirts were Chucky shirts that I saw.
Yeah.
Chucky was the most popular out of any of the other ones there. So he has a pretty big following.
Yeah. No, I mean, I didn't, yeah, same thing. Like, I didn't realize how big it was until I went there. And then, like, the line was like 2 hours long. And yeah, and you're right. Like, it was mostly Chucky and it's the Stranger Things, like the two biggest things.
Yeah.
But they just started doing it. They haven't really made a Chucky movie with like the mainline Chucky in a while, but they have the TV show.
Yeah.
Which I started. I actually like it so far. It's pretty good. It's definitely different than the movies. It's like Chucky's kind of like, not that he's a good guy, but like he's kind of like he's still evil, but like he's like, I don't know. Like some of the people he's killing, like, are not that they deserve to die, but they're like not good people.
Yeah. I'll watch it at some point.
Yeah.
But as a movie itself, I think it is a pretty solid horror movie. I think there are a good amount of kills.
Yeah.
I think the horror, like it is scary at points.
No, it is.
Not
Yeah.
that I'll be scared necessarily, but there are points where it is pretty frightening.
Yeah.
I also think the puppeteering and like how his face looked was really good.
Yeah, I was gonna say when they come out in 1988, I
Yeah.
think. For that, the puppeteering was great. Even for today's standards, it would look good.
Yeah, like the way he talks and his face moves is like fantastic.
Yeah.
In the show, I'm sure it like looks the same still, probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, you haven't really seen him move around. I'm only 2 episodes in, so he hasn't really like done anything insane yet. Like, he's talks and stuff, but I haven't really seen him like move around a lot and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think there are some parts of the story that were kind of not making sense. First of all, Andy like doing whatever Chucky says is kind of like I get it to an
Yeah.
extent, but like he's really gonna go on a train across town to like this random person's apartment. Just
maybe he
'cause,
was
like,
threatening him or something.
I
Like he had
don't-
a knife.
maybe. Also, like the cops, I get it that they're supposed to like not believe him that the doll's come alive, but how would he like happen to go to the apartment of the exact guy that Charles Lee Ray was gonna kill, and he like knew his name,
Yeah.
and they were just like, oh, he's like being a crazy kid, like and doing the stupid stuff. They would be like, like how the fuck do you know that?
How did he
You know?
Yeah.
So, I thought the scene was pretty funny when Andy's in like the insane asylum and Chucky was like climbing those stairs because it's so easily either like a kid
Yeah.
or like a little person in a
In a Chucky
costume.
costume, yeah.
I think they actually did have someone with dwarfism like play Chucky for certain parts. certain parts when
Just
he's
for
like
like,
running, it's like an actor, but other parts he's being puppeteered, which is pretty interesting.
I like that they puppeteer him.
Yeah,
I like it better than them using like real actors, because that kind of adds to like the horror of it.
yeah, because it's like unnatural movements. Kinda.
Exactly.
My favorite character though, I gotta say Chucky.
Yeah.
How can I not say Chucky?
That's the one weak thing about the franchise is there isn't really uh the
Memorable.
characters aren't very strong.
Yeah,
I
the only
guess
like
Andy's the most
yeah
memorable, but
yeah
that's
Andy.
yeah.
I the kid who plays Andy did like a fantastic
Yeah,
job
no, I was gonna
too.
say
Especially
he's great in this.
the scene in the insane asylum where he's like breaking down and
Yeah.
crying. I was like, holy
Yeah,
shit,
I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
he was actually really good. I do like that black guy, like the voodoo guy.
Or
Remember?
like the witch doctor or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a random side character, but I remember
Yeah.
liking him for some reason. He gets killed by the voodoo doll.
Chucky, but yeah.
I like Chucky's like quippiness too. How he says like curses and
Well,
says all
yeah.
this shit.
No, I agree.
Um, I also
Yep.
like how they killed his character too at the end. Where he gets kind of like
He
burnt alive
burned, yeah,
and
and then he
he looks
comes out
insane.
yeah.
It was mad funny though when they shot him, like how it looked. He went
Yeah.
flying back across the room.
Because he's just like a plush doll that they shot.
Yeah,
So like the force of the bullet made it go flying.
yeah. Um, if I gotta think of my favorite scene though, let me think on this for a second. Does anything come to mind for you right off the bat?
Uh, Not like specific. There's not like in terms of like, like there isn't really a super memorable scene.
To me, I really like when Andy's mom realizes that there's no batteries, and she's like,
Yeah,
"I'm
that
gonna
is a
throw
really
you in the
good scene.
fire," and it's like the first time you see him talk,
Yeah.
and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you, you stupid bitch," or like something, and it's like such a shock. And I thought the way he like drops and rolls under the couch was mad funny too.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I really like that scene, and also kind of like the idea of, oh, this thing is happening, but everyone else thinks you're crazy besides you is like
Yeah.
kind of a common trope, especially for horror. But I think it is handled pretty well here, and it's like one of the first instances of it. So
Yeah. 'Cause this was like
but
the first like kind of. There's been a lot of plays on possessed dolls.
yeah.
This is like the first kind of
hmm So
Yeah.
yeah, you got anything else for it?
No,
All right,
not much to say.
all right, we could rate it. What's
Yeah.
your star rating for this?
I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, so 7 out of 10. I did really like it, but obviously the human character is a little weak besides Andy, but I did really enjoy it.
hmm Yeah, I ended up
Would
giving it
you?
a 4 star, 8 out of
Oh,
10.
really?
Yeah, I just think it introduced us to such an iconic
Yeah,
slasher character, and I had a great time watching the movie. It's not the best, but the way that it hit me for nostalgia's sake, as well as just enjoying myself watching Chucky terrorize these people,
yeah.
I don't know, I really enjoyed it. So, a lot more than I did the first time I watched it.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I definitely enjoyed it more this like watching it the second time around.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's really it.
yeah.
Um, all right, I guess we could wrap it
Yeah.
up. We actually, I didn't really post any question polls, so we don't have a Q&A. So I'll just get straight to the movie rec for the next episode.
What do you got? We're
So,
actually gonna have our sister on next episode.
yeah, episode 36, our sister Alexandra is going to join us because she is a big Captain Marvel stan. And the Marvels is going to be for the next episode. As well as possibly Priscilla. I think that comes out next week, but if it's not playing in theaters near us for whatever reason, then we might not do it. We'll figure that out.
I feel like it'll be our house,
Yeah. Um,
or at
but yeah,
least in the city.
it'll probably be Priscilla and the Marvels, and then
The Marvels, and
I'm
then
gonna
whatever you
recommend
recommend.
like this one's gonna be funny, but I think it'll be good because Alexander's joining us. I want to do the first High School Musical movie.
Okay.
I want us
Yeah,
to
that's
like
actually that. That is a good recommendation.
Us like watching it and trying to discuss it in depth, I think will be funny. And
Funny,
especially just like I feel like it'll be funny to watch it because it's
yeah. And
probably
it's
like the acting
nostalgic.
is
I remember
bad.
all that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
that is a good recommendation.
yeah, so that'll be a cool trio of film. So you're supposed to give us a list though for next episode.
Oh, so I was gonna do since I don't know. I mean, me and Matthew are big sports fans, and this is right now. Matt, you ever hear of the sports equinox?
No.
It's like basically all four sports are playing at the same time right now. So
Oh,
baseball's
okay.
playing, hockey's playing, football. So I was gonna do our best like sports movies that we've seen.
Okay. I don't
And
know if Alexander's gonna be able to give us 10.
oh, actually, yeah. Let me. You know what?
I
Okay,
was thinking if you want
I'll
me
change that.
to give one for you, but I don't know if
What?
you've
I'm
seen
open to
10.
suggestions. What?
I was gonna say maybe the top 10 musicals or musical movies, but I don't know if you've seen 10.
Mm, I don't know if I've seen. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I've seen 10 though. Honestly, I may have. Like, would it? Well, like animated movies. Does that count? Like The Lion King. Is that a musical?
Sure. It's
Yeah.
got music in it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So then I've definitely seen 10. We'll do that then.
All
Because
right.
Sound of Music, La La Land.
Yeah, just to name a couple.
Yeah,
Tick
like
Tick Boom, you've seen.
Tick Tick Boom.
Have you seen In the Heights or no?
No.
I definitely
Uh,
have 10. I could definitely find
The
10.
Lion King, Aladdin, The Little
Yeah, a lot of like
Mermaid.
the Disney ones you could do.
Yeah, I've seen all. Yeah, so
Yeah, and then Alexander, I'm sure will get a kick out of that too.
yeah,
So, all right.
that
So,
was a good idea, man. Thank you. You just
yeah,
kind of saved me. I completely
yeah.
dropped the ball on picking my list.
Nah, it's all
That
good though.
actually was like the worst possible fucking one I could have picked for.
Yeah, well, I guess you didn't really
I
consider
wasn't.
she
Yeah, I
was gonna be
wasn't.
thinking it.
Yeah,
But anyways, that'll wrap up episode 35. This is a pretty
yeah.
long one.
This might be our longest episode to date.
Maybe, yeah. So thanks everyone for listening. Follow us on our socials. Instagram, Letterboxd, Twitter /X, and see you in 2 weeks for the next episode. Make sure you watch Priscilla, The Marvels, and
Marvels
High School
and High School
Musical.
Musical.
So goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.